In this tutorial, we're going to check out SendInBlue. If you've heard of SendInBlue before, you probably think it's just an email sender, an autoresponder. It is much more than that. It allows you to create autoresponders. It allows you to create opt-in forms. It allows you to create campaigns, which are one-time broadcast emails. It has a chat widget you can include on your website. It has an email inbox where you can connect all your email accounts right into SendInBlue and manage all your customers there. It has a sales CRM built into it where you can keep notes and files and contacts and deals coming soon with your customers inside the CRM. And this is all in a free account. There are paid accounts as well, but you can get all those things I just listed in the free account. The only limit is the number of emails you can send out. You can have unlimited contacts, but there's a limit on the number of emails you can send in the free account per month. And we're going to check out SendInBlue in this tutorial. My name is Bjorn, all pass in WP Learning Lab. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below this video. I try to answer them the best I can. My name is Bjorn Allpass in WP Learning Lab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your customers, and for your business. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. And now let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is go to sendinblue.com and make a free account. There's a link in the description down below. You can go via that link or just type in the URL in the address bar and you show up on this page here. And you don't have to worry about looking at the features or anything because in this video, we're going to cover a lot of the features. Go to the pricing page. And we see there is a free plan, and the free plan is one of the most capable email marketing automation plans on the market, hands down. The big limitation is the number of emails you can send per day, whereas other email marketing software will limit by how many contacts you have in your account. With SendInBlue, you can have unlimited contacts, but you can only send 300 emails a day. And when this becomes problematic is when your email list starts growing and say you have over 300 contacts that you want to email to and you want to send them all at once, you can't. You have to send it over multiple days depending on how many contacts you have. So that can become painful and that's probably when you want to upgrade. But the free plan has included email campaigns, email template library, SMS or text message marketing, live chat to put on your website. It has unlimited contacts, like we said, advanced segmentation, a sales CRM, a workflow editor, real-time reporting, and we're going to check all this stuff out in this video. There's also the ability to send WordPress transactional emails, which means emails that WordPress sends out, say when someone makes a new account on your site or when someone uses the forgot password. You can customize those emails and track stats on those emails using SendInBlue as well. So let's go ahead and sign up for the free account. You can click here or up in the top right. And I already have an account, so I'm just going to make a fake account just for the purpose of this video. Not really a fake account, but account I'm not going to use. And then you just fill in your details, company name, email address, and password. You'll add more to your profile once you've confirmed your email address. Click on Get Started. You can also sign up with your Gmail address or Google address if you want. I'm not going to in this case. I'm going to click on Get Started. I have to log into our email account to find the verification email. And here it is. In the time it took me to log into my email account, the verification email was there. Click on this link to confirm the email address. I'm going to open this in the incognito window. Let's copy that address. You can just click on it. But I have my actual account open in the other browser. So I want to do this in incognito. And then we fill out this quick form right here. Business activity, let's say e-commerce, company size. Let's say 2 to 10 employees. How many contacts do you have now? Put in whatever number is accurate for you. Obviously don't put these details. Put in what's correct for you. You will have to check the I agree to the terms and service and anti-spam policy of SendInBlue. The second checkbox is optional but recommended, so you can be notified about product updates and new products and things like that coming to SendInBlue. So check both of those. Click on Complete My Profile. And in a few moments, you'll be in your brand spanking new SendInBlue account. And we're in. Brand new free account right here. I'm just going to switch to my other account for the purposes of this video because that is in my regular browser, not the incognito mode. I just want to show you how to make a free account because that's probably how you're going to want to start. Or you just go right into the paid account if you have lots of contacts and you want to try out SendInBlue. So let me hop back over to my other account. And here it is. Looks pretty much identical because it pretty much is. And we're going to start now by importing a list of contacts. So if you don't have a list of contacts yet, use the timestamps down below this video to skip to the next part of the video, or if you want to watch this part, that's great too. If you do have contacts you want to import, then make sure you watch this, because this is how you're going to get your existing email list that you have with a different service into SendInBlue. But first, there's something important you should know. If we click on the plus icon, we can go to Add Apps, which are up here. These are individual apps inside of SendInBlue. We can turn them on and off on this page. I have all of them on right now. And we also can go to integrations. Now, integrations lists a whole bunch of email autoresponders and email service providers, some of which, or one of which, you may be using already. And you can include these integrations in SendInBlue and automatically synchronize contacts in real time from these services into SendInBlue. So I'm not sure why we can sync in real time, but we can. This may be just an easier way to get contacts into your SendInBlue account without having to export them from these sites and then upload them into SendInBlue. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, these integrations are here and I wanted to let you know about them. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to do it the manual way. We're going to go up to Contacts and then go to Import Contacts in the top right. You can see I already have some here I was playing around with. No actual real contacts though, just me playing around. Import contacts in the top right. You can choose to copy and paste from an XLS file or upload a CSV, XLS, or TXT file from your computer. I'm going to choose upload file because that's what you get from your other email service providers. You download a CSV file usually, and then you can upload that here. You can download a sample file here if you want to. Not necessary, because the ones you download from the other email service providers will be a good enough structure, should be a good enough structure that SendInBlue can parse it, and then you can map it to the correct fields, which we're going to do right now. So I'm going to click on Select File and find the file. There it is. Click on Open. That's going to upload the file. This will take a lot longer if you have a lot more contacts. This is just me, my own contact, and this is all data from Drip. Your data from whatever email service provider you're using might look different, but these are all the fields in Drip that have a meaning in Drip that we can now import into SendInBlue. Click on Confirm Your File once you've looked through that, and here's where we choose what to import. The ID is specific to Drip. I wouldn't import this, that's not important. The email is auto-detected, and we have email chosen from this drop-down over here. Time zone, we can either not import that, or we can try to find a field here that connects to the time zone. If the time zone is not important to us, I would just ignore it. If it is important and it's not on this list, click on Add New Attribute. And from the drop down here, choose what it is: text, number, date, Boolean, or category. Boolean is true or false, yes or no, one or two. This is one option or another. For the time zone, I'm going to choose text and I'm going to call it time zone. Same as what they have for Drip. This is the Drip ID for that field. It's going to create the same one here. Click on Create, and now that one will be imported to time zone. And we go through each one and we import these. SMS number, if you care about when it's created, you can add that in. Tags from Drip, campaign names from Drip. If all these things are important to you, create the attribute over here and have that data added to your SendInBlue. The IP address, it falsely recognized as an SMS address. I'm just going to say do not import for IP. And then you can go through and add all those to fields or not, depending on what you want to do. Then click on Confirm Mapping at the bottom. And here's our list of lists. When you first start your SendInBlue account, you're going to start with your first list. So this might be the only one you have. Check on that box, and that's where they're going to be added. If you want to create another list for this special import, you can create a list and call this email import. And you can put it in a folder if you want to keep things organized. I will do that, and then click on Create List. And now we have the email import list. I'm going to click on Confirm Your List. I'm going to choose to update the attributes of existing contacts because I already have my contact in there as Bjorn@wplearninglab.com. And I'm importing Bjorn at wplearninglab.com with some extra data, which is the time zone. So I'm going to choose to update existing contacts. All the rest I'm going to leave unchecked. You have to click this box to confirm that these contacts gave you permission to send them emails. These contacts are not borrowed from a third party, and these contacts were not purchased or rented. So make sure those are true check this box and click on Confirm Your Import. Now we're in our email import list, and we have me right here. If I click on me, it should have the time zone. There's a time zone field right there. It's pulling in the data, and there's the time zone. I didn't link my first name and last name, which is something you do in that list I showed you earlier. Make sure all the fields you want to import are actually set to be imported. And now we have our contacts inside of SendInBlue, and we can send them an email. Before you can send any emails though, you have to create a sender. To create a sender, go to your account on the top right and go to Senders and IP. As you can see, I've added this email address as a sender. You can have multiple senders if you want. Click on Add New Sender to add a new one. Make the from name Bjorn, and just so I can tell them apart, Lunchtime Media. This will actually be the from name in the email address or in the email that's sent. So whatever you type here is going to be in the email that's sent to your subscribers. So make sure what you put in here is what you want in there. And the from email is going to be this email address. Click on Save. Now we have to go to that email address and click the link in an email to confirm that's actually our email address. And here's the email. You're receiving this message because this email is requesting to use this email as a sender in the SendInBlue account. If you're cool with that, click on Activate Your Sender. Takes us back to the page we're on. The new sender on the right here has been verified, and now we're ready to rock and roll to send out emails. Before I show you how to send a broadcast email or a newsletter type email, I want to show you how to create an opt-in form and start collecting email addresses, because I feel that fits into this contacts theme we're doing first. So we're going to create an opt-in form. We're going to put it on a website so you can collect opt-ins and collect email addresses. And then we're going to create a welcome message, make it automated, and that'll show you how to send broadcast emails as well. So to create a sign-up form, we have to go to Contacts. On the left, we have a bunch of options, including one called Forms. If you have a premium account that you paid for, not the free one, but a paid one, you have a landing pages option as well. So if you don't have a place to put your form on your website, or if you don't even have a website, you can use landing pages. You can also host this form on its own, which will show you. It's not as pretty as it will be in a landing page or on your site, but it's still a possibility for you to do that. So under Forms, on the right-hand side, there's a Create a New Subscription Form box. Let's click that. We're just going to create a very simple form. Let's call this Website Opt-in. Enable GDPR fields because that's smart. Click on Next. Then we design our form. This is where we can drag and drop all these options on the left into our form on the right. This is how the form actually looks when we add it to our site. So I'll change the headline to Sign Up for My Fantastic Newsletter. There's just an email field here. If you want to add more fields, just drag and drop them over, like I mentioned earlier. User attribute field, let's put it above, and let's make this attribute on the drop down here, first name. And here it says enter your first name. I'm going to change this to be a little less aggressive. And use my manners there. Please enter your first name. Let's make this lowercase. In here, you can change the placeholder text as well. Every one of these pieces of text you can click into and change them. Enter your first name here. Please enter your email address. And we can add more options, more attributes. You can add a list of subscriptions as well. So if you wanted them to choose what they're subscribing to, you can do that. Let's just put that right above the subscribe button. And here you can choose, let's say, these two. Now they can choose which list they're on. So you could have a list called rollerblading and another list called paddleboarding, another list called soccer. And you send newsletters that differ and are specific to each of those lists. They can choose which list they want to go on. That's a great feature that I have not seen before on other email marketing platforms, especially not in a free account. So that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to do that though. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to keep this as my form. Form is all done. You get the idea. You drag and drop options over and you customize your form. The Open Grammarly up here, that's not part of the form. That's my Grammarly add-on for Chrome, so you can ignore that. This toggle here switches it to mobile, so you can see how it looks on a mobile phone. Looks pretty slick. And we can also add reCAPTCHA. Just drag and drop that in here. They check a box to say I'm not a robot. You have to use, or you have to get the site key and secret key from Google itself. I have a tutorial for that already on the channel. It's linked to in the card up above and the description down below if you want to check out that tutorial to add reCAPTCHA. I'm going to not add it here because I don't want to get those site keys right now. Click on next. Here we have a warning that SendInBlue strongly recommends reCAPTCHA, so you should add it. So here we choose the lists. Which list should the people who register through this form be added to? Currently, we have these 4 lists right here. I'm going to create a new one because I want to have a list called website opt-ins. And so I know the people on this list came from the website. I can put it in a folder or not, and I will. And then click on next. We can choose a double opt-in or double confirmation email. That means someone opts in, adds their name and email address, and clicks subscribe. Then they get an email verifying their email address. This extra step will reduce the number of successful signups. You cannot email them until they click the link in the email that you send them. And believe it or not everybody who signs up through your form is going to click the link in that email. So this will reduce the number of people you can actually send to, of the people who sign up. But it is a good step because then you cannot be classed as a spammer. You've confirmed 2 times they want to hear from you. First with the opt-in they did, and again with them verifying their email. So if you want to send a double opt-in email or double confirmation email, you can choose the default template double opt-in confirmation here. I'll show you how to create templates shortly in this video. You can have a confirmation page after the sign-up form if you want. You can have the default email confirmation page, which is created by SendInBlue. You can also create pages if you have the paid plan, and you can create landing pages. You can choose those from here as well. You can create a custom confirmation page. You can also have a page on your website if you want, and you can have another customized confirmation page after they click a link in the email. Let's just use theirs again. And then you can also choose to send the final confirmation email after they've clicked the confirmation email. This would be telling them that they've successfully subscribed to your list. I usually don't add this. I'm going to leave that off. You can also use simple confirmation email. This is a simpler process than the double confirmation, and this will lead to more people who opt in actually becoming subscribers using the simpler method. The double opt-in confirmation is the best in terms of legality around the world because you are making doubly sure that the people want to be on your list. You could also choose no confirmation email at all. And this is the least safe, legally speaking, around the world because anybody can come along to your website and put in anybody's email address and they're on your list. So this will not prevent people from adding other people to your list, which is technically against the law because those people that you're now sending to that someone else added don't want to receive email from you. That makes you a spammer. You are a spammer if you send email to someone who didn't request it. You might be a completely legit company. You could be Walmart. And if Walmart is sending an email to people who didn't ask for it, Walmart is spamming. So this is no protection for you. So make sure you pick the correct one that you want. I'm going to keep mine on double confirmation and then click on next. Change these to their confirmation emails. There, click on next. And here we have some success messages and error messages. I'm going to keep these as they are and click on next again. And now we have a link that we can share. This is our actual opt-in form right here. Copy this link, open a new tab, paste it in, and there you have it. There's the form that we just built. It's not the prettiest, but it's also not the ugliest. I've seen lots of forms worse than this. People can fill this in right here. Let's just fill this in with some demo data. Jim for the name, and then jim@jiminycricket.com for the email address. Click on that checkbox, click on subscribe. Confirm your subscription. This is saying it's going to be an email sent to that email address, which will not happen because that's a fake email address. So we're not going to get that email, but this would be where they then confirm the email in their email account, and then they'll be added to your list. So as far as integrating this form, we have the ability to use that link that I just showed you. You can also use an iframe, which is the simplest. You can use the HTML option to add the styles, which is the display of the form. You have to have access to the head section of your website because that's where the style information goes. You could also use the customizer inside of WordPress if you wanted to. So the style sheet or the style information goes into the customizer, and then you have to load this link here, that has to be in the header. You can't put that in the customizer. And then there's the actual HTML for the form, which you can then copy and paste into a page on your WordPress site. This is much more complicated. The easiest method is the iframe. And you also have the simple HTML, which also requires access to the header section of your site. So we're going to use the iframe option. I'm just going to quickly show you how you can add this to a website. Let's copy it here and log into any one of your WordPress sites. I'm logged into one called WP Speedify. I'm going to go to Pages and then Add New. And let's call this Newsletter Signup. Click on the plus icon. Click on or search for HTML. And we paste that piece of code, the iframe code, into here. Click on Publish. Publish again. Click on View Page. And our opt-in form exists right here. We don't want to change the height of this. That's not ideal. Let's close that confirmation page. Let's go back to edit the page. And let's change the height from 305. Let's just change this to 600. Kind of guessing what height would be appropriate for this. 600 is still a little too small. Let's make it 750. This is pixels, 750 pixels. And then we have our form without scrolling. It actually doesn't look that bad, in my opinion. So that's how we can add a simple form to our website. Let's close these pages again for now. Click on Done at the bottom of this form. And we already have one subscription, the one we did earlier. But that person is going to show as not being confirmed. So if I go back to our list of contacts, we have Jiminy Cricket here. If I click on him, it probably says somewhere in his profile here that he's not confirmed. And it does that right here under unidentified contacts because we told that form to add people to website opt-ins. This individual, Jiminy Cricket, is inside SendInBlue, but until they're added to website opt-ins, they're not double confirmed. So they're added automatically to identified contacts. Anybody who doesn't confirm, if you have double opt-ins, they're not added to the actual list. And now it's time to create an email so that when someone opts in via that form, they receive an email, a welcome email, right after opting in. To do that, let's head over to Campaigns and then Templates. And we have a bunch of options in our account here. We're going to create a brand spanking new one. Click on New Template. Let's give this a template name. Website opt-in welcome. Subject line, this would be where you write something about what they just did. So if they were signing up for your newsletter, you want to say welcome to the newsletter. If they're signing up to get a lead magnet or an ebook or something, you want to put that right in the subject line. So I'm going to pretend they're opting in for an ebook. Open this email to download the WP Speedify ebook you requested. Preview text, this is a piece of text that shows up right below the headline in some email inbox software, most notably on mobile phones. So you can add text like open up now. You can add personalization. Let's choose the first name. And if this is empty, I'm just going to leave it blank. Click on insert. So now it's going to say open up now and the first name of that individual. If you have a bunch of custom fields that you created, like we created the time zone one, which we see here, you can have high levels of customization because you can have all this information put right into the emails, which is pretty awesome. The from email, we can choose one of the senders we created. I'm going to choose this one here. The from name, you can customize that as well. Under advanced options, you can add a reply to email address if it's different than this one. By default, it'll be the same as the from email. Just click reply. It'll go back to whatever email you sent from. That's usually how I do it. You can add Google Analytics tracking to your email, which means they'll be adding UTM parameters to your email. So if they click on a link, you'll be able to see that click inside Google Analytics. Pretty powerful stuff. You can add a tag, which is for your purposes. It'll help you find this email in your account using search. So a tag for this one would be welcome. Add that as a new item. And now any welcome emails on the account, I'd add this tag to. And if I search for welcome in my email list, it's going to show all the welcome emails. You can add an attachment. You can also enable a mirror link. This allows people to view the email in their browser instead of their inbox. So check that if you want to do that. Then click on next step. And we have multiple choices for how we can build this email. If you have a highly visual email, use the drag and drop editor. If you just have text, just use the rich text editor or the paste your code editor if you want to use HTML. I'm going to choose drag and drop just to show you all the tools they have. This is quite similar to the form builder, only more graphical. Click on here to add a logo, click on here to add your image, type into the headline to change it. Thanks for requesting WP Speedify ebook. And then the email down below would be delivering that ebook and possibly having other information in here as well. Customize the email to your heart's content. Drag and drop elements over, drop them wherever you like. Let's add a button here. That's how easy it is to add buttons and things. This is a section, so I can't put the button into the section. I can put it above and below. But this image and title and text and button is a section, which is this image box right here. So drag and drop items, delete items. You'll figure it out. Just figure it out by doing it, and you'll be able to customize this email to exactly how you want it. And then we can choose send a test email. You always want to do this before you finalize an email because you want to make sure it looks right in an inbox. You can also choose up here different views for this email. You can choose the desktop preview, which will load in a pop-up. Looks very nice. You can choose the tablet preview and the mobile preview. So you can make sure it appears how you like, but you should also test it just to make sure it actually appears how you think it does. I'm going to click on Save and Quit right up here. And now we have our email. As you can tell, and as you saw, we didn't actually design anything in here. That would just take too much time for this tutorial, and it is drag and drop. So you'll be able to figure that out, no problem at all. Click on Save and Activate in the top right if you're happy with your design. And now our template is saved and activated successfully. Now we can add that template to an automation. So this is the email we want sent to people after they opt in to our website opt-in form. To connect those two things, we have to go into the automation tab. Before I go any further, I want to mention something about these tabs up here. These are apps that you find under the plus icon. If I Control or Command click, open that in a new tab, we have our apps that we saw near the beginning of this tutorial. So if you don't see automation in the top up here, go to the plus icon, scroll down, and make sure it's turned on. So if I have tabs up here that you don't, it might be because I have a higher plan than you, or it's more than likely because it's not turned on inside of your apps. So make sure you turn that on in there. And once we're here, we can create a new workflow. This is a workflow I was messing around with when I was testing out SendInBlue. I'm going to just delete this one. We're going to create a brand new one. Let's click on Create a Workflow in the top right. And let's choose Welcome Message. There's a bunch of defaults here of different categories. Just going to choose Welcome. It appears on the right-hand side. Then I'll click on Create. What you see in the right-hand side preview here is not what you have to stick with. You can customize that in any way you like, which we're going to do once this loads. So first things first, we have to select a list. We're going to choose website opt-ins because that's what our website opt-in form is connected to. Anybody who opts in and double opts in to that form is going to end up on this list. So that's the list we want to have for this workflow. Click on Next. Now it's asking how long we want them to wait before they receive the first email, before the first step in the workflow happens, which in our case is going to be sending an email. I'm going to say 1 minute. You can choose minutes, hours, days, weeks, months from that list. Click on Next. Which email do you want to send? We want to send the one we just created, which was website opt-in welcome. You can choose to send a hidden copy of this email, which is a blind carbon copy. If you want to, that's not necessary for a welcome email. I want to choose when to send this email. So if you wanted to not send this on a weekend, just uncheck the weekends. If you want to only ever send this on a Wednesday, just make sure only Wednesday is checked. For this case, when someone opts in, they probably want to know about it right after they opt in. So I'm going to send this email any day of the week and any time of day. We see the time goes from midnight to 11:59 at night. So pretty much any time of day, any day of the week for this email. So I'm going to uncheck this because I want to send it anytime. If you want to define a time, that's when you check this and customize it. You can further customize the email using event data. That's more advanced. We're not going to do this in this tutorial. I'm going to click on Finish, and now it has created our workflow. Contact is added here. We wait for 1 minute, and we send this email. That's our entire welcome workflow. You can add more steps to this. Say after the welcome email, you want to send subsequent emails. Say you're promoting some kind of holiday event or holiday product. Click on the plus, click on add a delay, or wait until if it's going to happen a specific time of the year. I'm going to choose add a delay. I'm going to choose 1 day. Click OK. And then I'm going to choose send an email. There's a lot of actions you can take. You can send a text message, send a notification, add contact into a list. So after they've received all your emails, you can add them to a different list if you wanted to. So go through all these. I can really geek out and spend hours customizing workflows like this. We're just going to choose email here. We don't have a second email created, so just for fun, I'm going to choose this one and click OK. And now we have a follow-up sequence of 2 emails. And then we click on activate the workflow, and it is active. It is now tied to our opt-in form. The next thing we're going to do is set up a broadcast email under the campaigns tab. This is something you'd use to send out newsletters or one-time emails to your lists. And you do that here. And what we do is we create our first email campaign by clicking on either this blue button here or the blue button in the top right. We give the campaign a name. This is visible only to us, so we know what this is about. The subject line will be visible to everybody in their inbox when they receive the email. The preview text will be visible in most inbox software. This will show up right below the subject line in the inbox. Then we have our from email and our from name, the same as we did for the email template we set up earlier. In the advanced options, there are quite a few more options, and these are mostly the same as the email template, except for the default header, default footer, and custom unsubscribe page. If you're going to use the drag and drop editor to design your email, then this is irrelevant. Don't worry about these. The unsubscribe page, you want to have an unsubscribe page. I'm just going to use the default one. You could create your own if you want to. And a custom update profile form. This wasn't on the email template either. This will allow people on your mailing list to update their profiles in your system, which is pretty handy to have. And then we have A/B split testing. This is on the paid accounts. This is not for the free account, but the A/B split testing is very useful because you can test subject lines and you can test email content. This will allow you to find the subject lines that get the most opens and the email content that gets the most clicks on your link. Those are the real purposes of those. Your subject line needs to get the person, the subscriber, to open the email, and the content of the email needs to get them to click on something. If you can't do those 2 things, you're not going to achieve your business goals. And so testing those 2 things to pick the best combination that gets the best results is very, very helpful. And this is something that really comes in useful when you have a big list. If you have 25 people on your list, this is not useful at all. But if you have, say, 10,000, maybe you test this on, they say at least 5,000 here, test it on half your list, and then send out the best version to the rest of your list. Any subscribers you have above 10,000 from our example here, the better it gets, because the better your results will be if you have the best combinations chosen. I am not going to A/B split test in this case. I'm going to click on next. Then we're going to design. We have the same options as before. I'll use the drag and drop editor again. This is the exact same as before. I'm not going to do anything fancy here. I'm just going to click on save and quit. And the reason I'm not doing the drag and drop is I know you know how to drag and drop and upload images and replace text. We also have a nice option right in here to preview on different email clients. When we click on there, it will generate a preview on different email clients. Gmail, Outlook, Hotmail, web-based email, mobile email, desktop email, just to name a few. And this is actually a service that other companies provide that's expensive. You have to pay for it. And I believe this is available in the free account with SendInBlue. I didn't show you this option for the template email we created earlier, but this option is there as well. I'm going to pause this video while these screenshots load, and then I'll come back and we'll see how this looks on various email clients. So I'm back and they're still not loaded. I've been waiting for quite a while and these screenshots aren't loading. So there might be something going on with SendInBlue with these screenshots right now, I'm not sure. But when they do load, when it works properly, you see screenshots of every type of email client that you see listed here. There's quite a few. And the reason you want to do this is to see if they're displaying properly on all email clients, because you don't know which email client your subscribers are going to be using. And it's likely going to be a vast array, probably even more than I have listed here. And so you want to make sure it works on as many as possible and looks right on as many as possible. So that's why we have this. If you do find an error on one of these screenshots, you would go in and try to fix it. You try to change that section or that image or whatever it is that's causing the problem to see if you can fix it. Come back in here, click on refresh the test to see new screenshots to see if it then worked properly. So I might just not be waiting long enough, or there's something going on, I'm not quite sure. That is a great feature when it does work. And the last thing you want to do under design, if this is an important email, which when you're sending to your entire list, it's always important. You should always make sure that everything works properly. Use the send a test button up here. Enter your email address or a list of email addresses and send it to all of them, and then make sure the email works as it should, especially the links are working as they should. Then we go to next step. Here's where we choose our recipients. You would choose whatever list you want to send to, and then you can choose down here, don't send to unengaged contacts. And if we click on the question mark, we see that unengaged is defined using a filter. We can change it by clicking on here. I'm going to control or command click that to open that in a new tab. And here are the conditions. The criteria for unengaged is they were added within the last 365 days, and they have not read any emails in the past year. They have not clicked on any emails in the past year, or they've been added in the last year and no email has been sent to them in the last year. And you can change those as you want. You can change this to just be 3 days or 10 days or whatever you want. You can change whatever you want in here. But you want to make sure you leave enough time to give people a chance to read your emails and to make sure that you're not just excluding them because your most recent emails are boring. Because people won't open boring emails or emails they already know when they read the subject line, they don't want to read that specific topic. So you want to make sure that you have a range in here that covers at least the last 3 or 4 emails. If you send one a month, then make sure the time range here is 4 or 5 months, 6 months, something like that. The 1 year is pretty good, I would think. But for non-readers and non-clickers, 1 year is a long time to wait. And in that time, you're sending emails to inboxes like Gmail, and Gmail detects when your emails are not being opened, and then they push you into a different folder in the smart Gmail folders. So if they have their smart folders set up, they might not be getting your emails in their inbox because they never open them anyway. So you usually want to have this less than a year for the non-readers and non-clickers, but either way, set this up how you want it, and this is how unengaged contacts are defined when you check this box. You can also apply filters to the selected list. So let's pick a list here. Let's do email import. And then we can select filters just like we saw for the unengaged contact filter. You can create your own filter using these options in here. You can use any combination, and you then can add another condition, which is an and condition. So you want email readers and and email delivered, for example. So these 2 conditions have to be true. You can also add an or condition. So these ones have to be true, or this one has to be true, and those are the people who have received the email. Pretty powerful stuff, but only use it if you know what you're doing. Click on next step when you're ready. I'm going to uncheck this. Then we have our confirmation. Here everything is set up, and then we can click on schedule. We can send it now, we can wait for a specified time, or send it at the best time, which is based on when the individual contact is most likely to open the email. For your first few emails, this will be totally random. But if they find that certain of your contacts open their emails at noon, then this email will be sent at noon within the next 24-hour period, whenever noon happens to be based on when you're sending. That is pretty useful. It's not just the best time for your list as a whole, it's the best time for each recipient over a 24-hour period. That's a pretty cool feature. I'm going to choose schedule for a specified time. That looks good to me. Tuesday at 11. That's today, actually. Let's go for Wednesday at 11. Remembrance Day. Click on continue. Click on confirm. And now we have a scheduled broadcast email. You can queue up as many as you want in here. You can have a list of an entire year's worth of emails if you want. And maybe they're recurring emails, so you can use them again next year. Just go to more, click on duplicate, and then you can update it for the next year while still keeping all the stats for this email that was previously sent. So that's how we set up the email campaigns. We also have statistics over here on the left. This will show us how our email campaigns are doing. Nothing in here right now because we haven't actually sent any emails to actual real people. So this will populate once you start sending emails to your recipients. And the last things we want to check out in SendInBlue, there's 3 of them. There's the chat, the inbox, and the CRM. These are also included in the free account. It is absolutely bonkers what you get in the free account. Let's go to chat. This allows us to add a chat widget to our website. so we can chat with our website visitors. The chat on your end will occur right here in this tab, whereas the visitor will be chatting on your website. Click on Get Started with Chat to get started with chat. In the bottom right here, we have a preview of how the chat box will look on your website. We can change how it appears, obviously. Want to change the title up here? That's this box here for the company name. I added my image for the logo. You can just have a logo there, or you can have an image. You can also change the default color to, say, red. Whatever your brand color happens to be, I'm going to keep mine a blue. I'm going to click on Set Up Your Operator Profile at the bottom. Here we see the operator name. I'm going to upload my logo or my image again. So what we could do is have, on the previous one, have the company logo, like it says, and then have the chat operator. So if I'm the one accepting the chat, if you have multiple people in here, you have the person accepting the chat and their logo or their image appears up at the top there. Let's put that back in. Up at the top, up here. Now we'll click on Install Chat. On the next page, we're going to see some code, but don't be intimidated because you don't have to use it. We are going to use the SendInBlue WordPress plugin to integrate the chat. So I'm going to walk you through adding it to a WordPress site right now. We are going to do it on the wpspeedify.com website. We're going to go to Plugins and then Add New, and then look up SendInBlue. And the plugin we want is right here. Click on Install Now, and then Activate. If you're installing this on a live website, you might want to back up your site first. There's a tutorial for that up above and in the description down below. Just in case something goes wrong, you can revert back to a backed up version. It's pretty rare these days that something goes wrong, but just in case, it's great to have a backup. Now we have a new menu option on the left here called SendInBlue. Let's click on that. Now the first thing we have to do is add our API key right into this box. We can click on this link right here. I'm going to Control click or Command click to open that in a new tab. And we're going to get our API right here. Copy that. Come back, paste it in here. Click on Login. Boom, we're active. Now we have a bunch more options, including one that's really cool, and that is transactional emails. Activate email through SendInBlue. These are things like when someone registers as a new user on your site, you can send that email through SendInBlue. Usually WordPress sends that itself, but if you send it through SendInBlue, then you can track opens and clicks and things like that. So you can send all transactional emails through SendInBlue if you want to, by just clicking yes right here, picking the correct sender from the drop-down, and then send a test email just to see how it looks. I'm going to turn that off for now. To turn on the chat widget, which is what we want to do here, we just have to click yes right here, and then click activate. Get a green message saying it worked. Now our chat is integrated. It's as easy as that. And now we can go out to the front of our website, open that in a new tab. I love opening new tabs. And we have our chat widget right down here in the corner. Let's click on that as though we're a visitor. And here we have a default message. Hello, how can we help you? I'm going to say hi. Please help. Sent. And it's right here. Visitor number 1 says, hi, please help. And you can click on that and start chatting with them. Great. This is a very useful conversation. So I answered great, and now great shows up right here. And that's how you can chat with visitors live on your site. You can change the default message, the one you see right here. Hello, how can we help you? You can change that inside of this code. Let's make this bigger. This is the code we copied and pasted when we added the chat widget to our website. Right here it says, to overwrite the default welcome message, uncomment this line. So what we do is we just take out those slashes. Now this line is active, and now we can say, hi, what's up? If you want to be super casual. And let's click save. You want to make sure when you do that, let's go back here, that you don't erase these little quotes. Don't erase the quotes, don't erase that semicolon. Change nothing but the text in the middle. And in fact, I might have to do what's called escaping for this quote right here. We'll see in just a minute. Let's refresh out here, and the chat's not working. I do have to escape this. If you have a quote inside of quotes, you need to have this backslash before the quote. Otherwise, it's going to think that quote is where the code stops, and it's actually not. Let's see if that works. There we go. That worked. We changed it. It even changed on existing chats to hi, what's up? And if you don't have any quotes in your message, you don't need this backslash. So I could say, hi, what is up? Save that, refresh out here. And now the chat should pop up just fine, and it does with what is up. So that's the SendInBlue chat widget. It's included in your free SendInBlue account. It does not count towards your email limit, obviously, because you're not sending emails, you're chatting. So you could chat with thousands of people a minute in here. If you want to have more operators, I believe that will cost more money because you don't want to be doing it all yourself, or maybe you do, I don't know, but probably you don't. So you want more operators, that's going to cost more. But if it's just you in here and you're chatting, you can chat with as many people as you want. Under settings, we have some options, including some important ones like the offline chat box. You're not going to be online 24 hours a day. And this will allow you to create kind of an offline mode where people can start a conversation and you can get back to them when you're back online. So with the offline message, they leave their email, then you can send them an email. Pretty handy stuff. You can also email visitors if they have not received the latest notification. So maybe they were chatting with you and they left their site or their browser crashed or who knows what. You can send an email out to them as long as you have their email address, and it can be automated to let them know that there's a message waiting for them there. Pretty handy stuff. Next, I want to go to the inbox. And this is email. You can do all of your email right inside of SendInBlue, which makes a lot of sense because you're sending a lot of emails to your audience already through the automation and the campaigns. Why not do your inbox in here as well? I'm going to click on Try SendInBlue Inbox. You can sync your inbox emails to any of these options here. I'm going to try Gmail. I'm going to click on Inbox like that, and then click on Allow. And allow again, and allow again, and again, and again, and again, and allow. Now I can send emails as though I'm in my Gmail account and do it right through SendInBlue. And that is super handy. I'm just going to pause this video and let this run. I almost paused the video, and then this showed up. So it didn't pull in any emails, so that's good. But it has the email capability. Here's your inbox right here. And this will pull in and sync with new emails that come in. Then you can manage all your emails right in SendInBlue. And you can add multiple inboxes. We can add another one, a different inbox, and manage that as well through SendInBlue. And the last major component of SendInBlue is the CRM. This is also included in the free account. Let's click on Try SendInBlue CRM. Give your list a name in here. This is a name that only you would see. I'm going to keep it as it is. Click on Get Started. Here we see some demo individuals in our CRM. If I click on these, click on any one of them, we have a CRM, meaning we can take notes and have information about this individual that we can refer back to in the future. So say these are coaching clients or customers or people you talk to on the phone. You can add notes in here. For example, we talked on the phone, click on Create, and it adds that note right here, gives it a date, shows who it was written by. If you have multiple people on your account, that's pretty handy. You can assign this individual to an owner. Right now it's just me, so I'll do that. Click on Save. And now Edna Storms at demo.domain is now assigned to me. This is my person in the CRM. We can email them, send emails directly to them right in here. The Deals tab is coming soon. This is where you can list the business relationship between this contact and your business. There's tasks. Say you talked on the phone and this person needs you to do X for them. And you can add that in here and then assign it to a person. You can assign it to yourself, assign it to anybody else in your list. And that's pretty handy. Adding tasks in here. There's also files. If they send you a file or if you have a contract that you want to store in here, you can upload that right here and have it right in the CRM. And then you probably have multiple lists over here. Right now we have just my first list, but you probably have a customers list and a prospects list and a leads list just to manage your CRM as though we're sales CRM, which is usually why you have CRMs, to keep track of your customers and prospective customers. So you can manage the lists over here on the left. And you can also check out Edna's marketing profile, which is the information we have and lists she's assigned to inside our email marketing component of SendInBlue, which we've seen multiple times throughout this video. This is just the emails through either automatic emails or campaigns that she's received, the lists she's on inside the email sending component, and contact history. This would be the emails we sent to her historically. It even shows which web pages on our site she's visited because we have the chat code installed. That will register which pages she has visited. And if she comes and we can detect that it's her on our website, I assume, I don't know this for sure, but I assume it's going to pre-fill some of her information right in here instead of being a random stranger. In this case, if we go to our chat, instead of saying visitor 1, I think that might say Edna Storms if she comes in and starts chatting with us, which is pretty handy. If you know your customer base and you interact with them regularly, it is really handy to know who you're actually talking to in the chat without having to ask. You can ask, but it's much more pro if the system detects all that for you. So that is the end of all the major features inside SendInBlue. And it's a lot of them, and as you can probably tell in this video, SendInBlue is a very comprehensive email marketing, chat, inbox, and CRM that you can use to propel your business to the next level. If you look at the pricing page one last time, click on the link in the description down below to get here, or just type in this address in the URL box. The free component includes all of those things we just saw. The only limit is you can only send 300 emails per day. If we scroll down here, we see we have email campaigns in the free version. All these checkboxes here. We have chat. We don't have A/B split testing, like I mentioned when we were going through A/B split testing. We have unlimited contacts, advanced segmenting, sales CRM in the free version. We have the workflow editor, page tracking, marketing automation workflows like the welcome email that we set up. This only works up to 2,000 contacts, which is unfortunate, but SendInBlue also has to make $1. It costs money to send email. So even for the free accounts, SendInBlue is being charged and is spending money to send emails for free accounts. Because they have such great software, they hope that you'll upgrade in the future, which is their business model. But until then, there do have to be some limits on email sending and things. Otherwise, they'd be just spending way too much money on the free accounts. Real-time reporting. And there we go. That's all the features we covered in the free plan. I highly encourage you to check out the free plan. If you thought SendInBlue was just an email software, it is much more than that, as we saw in this video. So check out the free plan, see if it can help you in your business and keep you more organized and keep everything in one convenient dashboard. Maybe not everything, but keep lots of things in one convenient dashboard, which will make your life a whole lot easier, which will justify the upgrade in the future to a paid account in SendInBlue because it makes your business more streamlined. Now that you have your email marketing component figured out for your business, check out this playlist right here where I show you how to build a blog, not a perfect blog, but a blog that works and a blog that starts getting you customers. Right over here, this whole playlist shows you how to set up the blog, add analytics, optimize landing pages, secure your site, all kinds of stuff right in this playlist. So check that out. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. My name is Bjorn Allpass from WP Learning Lab. Until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.